guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Fitzgerald Hyundai in Clearwater, Florida, because guess what? We are gonna look at what is possibly the cheapest, most value-priced, small, subcompact SUV out there. And what we're gonna look at is this all-new 2020 Hyundai Venue SE trim. So let's talk a little bit about Hyundai. Hyundai's been selling cars here in the United States ever since 1986. It was the Excel hatchback and the Excel sedan. Over the years, they've expanded their lineup to now feature just about something for everybody, including their performance brand, that N division. One thing is for sure, when they came out with their first SUV, does anybody know what SUV that was? Yes, you are correct, the Santa Fe, all the way back in 2000. They now have a lineup of SUVs from the Palisade down to their smallest one, the Venue, to fit every type of lifestyle, every type of budget. But definitely we're gonna focus on, could this Venue SE possibly be the most bargain value price subcompact SUV in the United States? Let's go ahead and dive in. It's an all new design, so we're not even gonna compare it to anything that's outgoing. The main competitors though of this Venue are gonna be the Nissan Kicks, the Kia Soul. I know some people argued about that. Hyundai's saying this is a competitor against the Soul, and a lot of the other different small subcompact SUVs out there from the variety of manufacturers like Chevrolet and whatnot. But right off the bat, you'll see the continuation of styling for Hyundai specifically. Now, one thing that they do is that they have the projector style beam headlights lower, separate from the rest of the lighting on the front end of the business of this Venue. So it's starting to grow on me. I know a lot of people don't like this split setup. They say, especially if it's snowing, that this is easier to get snow covered over your headlights, but it's starting to grow on me, and it is very unique. You look at the Palisade, you look at the Santa Fe, they have this split design. This green, I think you would agree with me, fits the style and the design of this Venue to a T. Flat black all across the lower bottom. You do have some functional air curtains. We come across to the grille area, and what I do like about the Venue is it's just all hood. There's no actual front fascia separating the hood from the front of the vehicle. You have your Hyundai logo here, flat black. The best news about flat black, it's gonna take a beating so well over time that it will age a lot better. You drop down, we have a little bit of silver here, like a dark grayish silver, and then the rest is flat black, but very, very clean, and definitely it looks cute. I almost wanna like pinch its cheek, that's how cute it looks. But when we get up onto the hood, some interesting things going on. You have two very distinct body lines on the hood, and then I like this curve around edge that rides all the way along to where the fender and the hood meet. I like that. It's a nice, smart design touch. We come around the bend on a value price car. Yes, those are plastic hubcaps. So you have a steel wheel, plastic hubcap. The good news about this is that this is a, believe it or not, 15-inch wheel. So tires are gonna be dirt cheap. You have a 65 series sidewall. So you're gonna get a nice, soft, cushy ride. And if you're a new beginner, or you're using this as A to B transportation, and maybe you have to park in all sorts of tight spaces, if you scratch any of these, you just get a new one, you put it on, 1, 2, 3. That's the best thing, and that's, I think, what adds to the value. Flat black around the inner portion here, and then I also like the way it has the same crease to kind of follow. Very, very clean. You have a side marker light. It's cute, the car's cute. I mean, what can I say about it? So side marker light, I like the way that they gloss blacked out the A-pillar here up onto the very low roof. So I'm 6 feet tall. You can see how low the roof is on this Venue. They did go ahead and sprinkle that beautiful green onto the mirrors. Flat black on the bottom. As we go down the side, you see a very prominent belt line up top. We drop down, and I really like the design going down here with the body creasing, and then this flat black, it's just high enough. If you looked at our CX-30 review, they brought this plastic cladding like all the way halfway up the door. Didn't look right. I think that it looks nice and clean. It's gonna take a beating. Other than that, looks great. We keep working our way back. You got your rear quarter window. Nice size and design on the rear pillar. Same gloss black like up front, and then we wrap it out to the rear. You have a super stubby low roof spoiler, black shark fin antenna, and then very clean. I like the bright white Venue badging, really pops off of the green. Great design on the taillights as well, LED brake lights. And then as we drop down, look at where they integrated your reverse lamps. This is great because this is gonna really illuminate the asphalt behind you at night. A little bit of design feature. It's not meant to look like a vent, and I'm okay with that. Flat black, and then a little bit of that silver from the front, but from start to finish, very cohesive package. Let's go ahead and pop the hood and see what's powering this Venue. All right, guys, we got the hood popped on the Venue. Underneath is a naturally aspirated 1.6 liter inline four, pumps out 121 horsepower. The vehicle weighs about 2,612 pounds. There are 3 different trim options. Now, the great news about SE, you could actually get the SE in a manual or a CVT. That is nice to have that choice. Of course, it's front wheel drive. And I think the other big place that you're gonna win is MPGs. 30 in the city, 34 on the highway. And this is not a hybrid vehicle or anything like that. I think that's phenomenal out of an internal combustion engine to get those MPGs, especially at this price point. Engine actually looks very clean, a very simple engine cover. Other than that, I'm okay with it. But let's go ahead, fire up this Venue and see if it makes any sound. All right, guys, we're inside the 2020 Hyundai Venue SE trim. This one has a CVT. I know you're probably saying, well, Joe, you keep talking about value, value, value. How much is this? MSRP for this particular one, it is MSRP, remember, you can negotiate lower, $19,500. Let's see what you get for the money. Now, I'm gonna keep everything in check. We're gonna compare apples to apples here. The door panels, a lot of dark material, very small armrest, a little bit of silver on the door handle to open it, but it's very hard materials. But remember, price point $19,500. One positive is it's gonna be easy to clean. So if you're using this every day to drive your kids around and whatnot, it's gonna take a beating and it's gonna be easy to clean. I like the texture on the dash. It is a harder plastic than what's on the door and whatnot. You have some silver around the AC vents. I like what they did with the 8-inch infotainment system screen. It's an iPad style, but it's been dropped down very nicely at this price point. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It is touchscreen, which is really nice to work in and out of, so that's very nice feature. Real quick reacting, which is great. You drop down, you have your radio controls, slim and trim. You drop down even further and you have your good old-fashioned AC controls. Easy to understand, no dual climate. We're talking about $19,500. 12 volt and a USB, which is a big plus. And you could take your Snickers and just have them right here for easy access. This is gonna control that CVT transmission. Little bit of gloss black, and it matches what's on the knob here, so it makes sense. You have this leatherette material with some white stitching around the boot. This is telling you your gears and everything. Let me show you the backup camera in this thing. So you put it in reverse. You do have directional, which is very, very nice. It's a little foggy on the clarity, but like I said, $19,500. You have a nice little holder here for your Jolly Ranchers, 2 cup holders, no armrest. So if you want an armrest, there's no armrest, but the good news is you could stack up your Twinkies in this container and just boom, 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 just knock them back one after another. Seats, full cloth, very durable. I do like the texture and I do like the design. Obviously manual controls on both sides. One thing I almost forgot, you have your Snickers, your king size Snickers holder right here, easy to get to as well, which is a nice touch. Overall though, the amount of headspace in here is unbelievable. Lots of room in a small package, but why don't you come on over to the business end? I'll show you behind the wheel of this Venue. All right guys, business time. Behind the wheel, you have your seat controls, real easy to use, easy to understand. Steering wheel, I like the design. It does have that rubber style material, but like I said, price point, $19,500. Flat black on the buttons, a little bit of silver, and then the gauges are very clean, very crisp, very 21st century for analog gauges to look. Backlit LED, you got your tach, your speedometer, fuel gauge, coolant gauge, and in the center, you could toggle through some different information there. And like you saw, driver assistance aids. You have lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring, emergency braking, which is very, very nice to have at this price point. Why don't we go ahead? There's room up here. Let's see what kind of room your passengers have in the back seat. All right, guys, I think the best part of this back seat area, is you have just as much room, headroom, shoulder room, and everything as the people up front. You have the plastic on the back, which is going to be great for your kids. They're going to dirty this up and you can keep it clean. That durable cloth material. There's no USB or anything like that back here. I was hoping for at least a 12 volt. I mean, the car still does cost $19,500. A 12 volt would have been nice. And guess what? Just like the people up front, you're gonna have to use your kid's sister as an armrest because there's no built-in armrest here. But room-wise, very, very nice. Let's go ahead, check out the cargo area and see what we could fit in a Venue. All right, guys, time to check out the cargo area of the Venue. Real simple. You push, you just use your muscle. It's real light, nice area. You can see with the seats up, you still have plenty of room. And from the ground, it's not that big of a hike to get things up to this loading level. Now, we lift this up and you do have a spare and your jack, and there's actually room that you could put stuff around there very, very easily. The seats, we gotta look how we fold those down. Now, one thing that's cool about the actual lid here is I'm gonna go ahead and we take this off like that. You ever taken one of these off and you're like, what do I do with this? And then you gotta go throw it in your garage. Well, not in the Venue. Check this out. Nice. So if you have something that's taller, that's gonna be in the way of that, you could do that. To fold the seats down, it's real simple. You pull up on the tab and you push. Pull up on the tab and push, and then I'll move this back out of the way so Tom could show off the room that's in the back of the Venue. With the seats down, plenty of space back there. But how ingenious of an idea is that to be able to lock that in place? But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and take this Venue for a spin. All right, guys, we're in the 2020 Venue, this SE trim. The one thing to remember is whether you go fully loaded with the denim or you go SE, it's still the same 1.6 liter inline-4 naturally aspirated engine. If you want to roll your own gears, you can get a manual, and I applaud Hyundai for offering a manual in this SE trim. The ride in this Venue is very, very smooth, especially for such a small car with a shorter wheelbase. Visibility is great out the back, sides. I think this would be a great vehicle for a first-time car driver. I personally wouldn't get a brand new car for your first car, especially if you're younger, because it's not a matter of if you're going to have an accident, it's a matter of when. So but I know that there are people out there that get brand new cars for their first car, and this I think would be great for a beginning driver, or even somebody that's been driving for 300 years, because A to B, it's going to get you there, it's going to keep you safe, it's got all the safety features, and for a small vehicle you do have tons of room. I feel very, very spacious in here, which is nice. Now I'll give you a little acceleration test once this car up in front turns. On throttle, the CVT holds at high RPM, simulated shifts, still very loud, but I do like once you get rolling, the simulated shifts become more realistic, and it keeps that constant RPM much lower, which is a really, really good thing. But overall, the feedback from the steering wheel is great. It feels balanced, it feels good. Seats are nice, even for just manual control. Base seats, I mean, the cloth feels good. The support is nice without being too firm. The only thing that kind of stinks is there's no armrests on the inside there. But like I said, the plus is you can get to your Twinkies a lot faster. What's interesting is that I'm noticing that as we're driving here, it actually feels quite solid in here. There's not like a ton of wind noise, which you would think that in a value price car that is somewhere where they would cut corners is in sound deadening material, but still fairly quiet inside. The door armrest is as hard as a Korean rock, so you know where they kept the price down, and definitely your elbow is gonna know every time you rest your arm on that armrest on the door panel. But still, I think when it comes to usable space and being very versatile, I think this would check off a lot of boxes for a lot of people. And if you want something that looks cute car-wise, you know, I think especially in the green, it's adorable. The proportions of it fit it to a T, and I think personally I'd rather have this than a Nissan Kicks, to be honest with you. So that's just my thoughts on that. Throttle. It's an inline 4, 1.6 liter. It is buzzy, but boy, I'm telling you, it sips fuel. So 30 miles a gallon in the city, quite respectable for a non-hybrid vehicle. And at this price point, really, really great. But pulling away from that light, on throttle, it's just that constant RPM. It's just not for me. I try to avoid CVT cars at any price, but if I'm driving one myself personally, like I'm buying one, but you know, for the price and for somebody who just wants something that's going to be reliable and safe and get you back and forth to where you need to go, I think this is a great option. And it's nice to have variety, that's for sure. Nobody wants to just have one auto manufacturer and one type of some compact SUV to choose from. So, but hopefully this gives you a great idea of what the Venue's about. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up and get back to Fitzgerald Hyundai, so I'll see you in a split second. All right guys, been another great day here at Fitzgerald Hyundai. Definitely gotta thank Rob and the rest of the crew for getting us access to this 2020 Venue. These are fresh, brand new at the dealerships around the country. Is this the best bang for the buck? The best value price subcompact SUV? I'm gonna say it's probably one of the best. You definitely gotta get out and check out the competitors and see at the end of the day, what's the bottom line on pricing that you can get out the door. But if it's small little tiny SUVs that have lots of room inside, if you wanna see more of these on the channel, leave a comment in the comment section. If you are new and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ladies Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Ladies Rise merch. Got to give it to Big Guns McGee, Tom Motioner, working the camera, loving life, living dreams, making dreams happen. Thank you, Tom, for all your hard work. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.